Okay, so we got a interesting letter here from Mother Fenlon, Mrs. John Fenlon to Dad. It's dated September 11th, 1954. In it, it has a newspaper clipping where Miss Hanway is married to R.A. Folk Jr. So that would have been, I guess, Dad's niece when she got married. That was September 4th of 1954. The letter, September 6th, 1954. Dear Frank and Mimi, thank you, Mimi, for your very nice letter, and thank you, Frank, for the phone call. Dad cannot hear anything on the phone, so just wanders along talking and saying nothing. That sounds so familiar. He has made life very hard for us all here on account of something's wedding, I guess. Maramon's? I don't know whether she's referring to the granddaughter. I'm not really sure. He wanted to call the Pelham Sun, that's the newspaper, and condemn the whole situation. I guess he maybe didn't approve of the wedding. I don't know. Maybe somebody can enlighten us on that. I tied the phone down and let him think it was out of order for the last 3 weeks. I wrote to Pat, and in the letter I told her that Marie had promised to keep our name out of all the announcements, etc. And if her father called the Pelham Sun, everyone would know about it, and it would be an ad for the Red Church. The Red Church. And he has been impossible to live with for the last month. Wow. I gave him the letter to read, and he tore it in 3. I mailed it anyway, and Pat understood. Marie was very much hurt and talked to Father Campbell away back in March. Maureen is living in the apartment house that John lived in. Some of the Fenlons went to the wedding. I do not know about Elizabeth. Pat is wild about the whole thing. She cannot see how anyone can hurt so many people. I will be pleased to get pictures of the children. Glad you got a card from Claire with a note, but heard nothing from Pete. Elizabeth spent $2,300 or more remodeling her kitchen, likes it very much. Mrs. Smith and Mrs. Roberts stopped for a while yesterday. Mrs. Roberts broke her back in a fall and is in an iron brace. Nina always looks tired. Mrs. R's younger daughter was with her. The other is married and lives in Egypt. Did you know that Chloe has her own plane? A 2-seater, and she does a lot of solo flying. Love to all there from all here, Mother. And then there's another one that says, Frank, this is a P.S. I have 2 rugs, 9 by 12 feet, some odd strips. I will send them to the Olson Rug Company for you if you want them. When Peg was moving, I took them thinking you would want them. I threw out the rug that was in your old room and have a plain green one on the floor now. It looks much better. Send me a postal at once if you want me to send the rugs for you. I will not have to pay express charges. Ed left this morning, Wednesday, for Chicago with Mr. Grissman, his boss. A convention of some kind. Love again, Mother. So that was from Miss John Thomas in 1954.